An enchanted world. A sorcerer's curse.
Rasputin.
A young princess who vanished.
Anastasia!
Without a trace.
A curse is unfulfilled.
Yeah, ain't that the kick in the head? I guess a curse just ain't what it used to be, huh, sir?
20th Century Fox Animation is taking animated features to the next level with its first release, Anastasia, combining the talents of veteran animators Don Bluth and Gary Goldman to tell the story of a young girl's journey and her search to find her true self.
On this journey to the past.
We're trying to take the myth that this girl lived and build a fairy tale around it.
I just want to know who I am, whether or not I belong to a family.
Do you see what I see? The same blue eyes. The Romanov eyes.
Are you trying to tell me that you think that I could be...
The Grand Duchess Anastasia.
Oh.
Anastasia provided an epic challenge for the Fox Animation team.
Anastasia was one of the titles out of a long list of projects that we thought we might do, and we looked at it and we thought, gee, that's a very serious subject, and it also has a dark side.
Anastasia? Alive?
I'd give her a ha and a hi-ya.
It is important that it's authentic.
Everyone is deep into research. Everybody in the layout and storyboard area and our noses are really deep into books.
Books and books and books.
I spent a week in St. Petersburg. I shot about 3,500 stills and 10 reels of video.
Fox cast some of stage and screen's best-known actors to bring the characters to life.
You have your voice actor, the talent that is providing the soul of the character, and then you hand that over to an animator who has to show you the visual soul of the character, and there has to be a marriage there.
I was surprised to learn that we would do the recording first and they would animate later. I don't know why I thought so much of it would be done to picture.
What is it with you and Holmes?
Well, for one thing, it's something that every normal person wants. And for another thing, it's a thing where you oh, forget it.
It's not like you're acting in a film where, you're creating the visuals and the voice at the same time. I mean, there's times when they've shifted the perspective so they know that they need a certain line emphasized a certain way based on the perspective that they've drawn.
Just Anastasia!
Usually after you do those first voice recordings, you go back to your original character designs and say, let's tune these a little differently because the voice gave us a little more insight into what this should look like.
Let's be big adults about this and let bygones be bygones, huh? Sir, is this the face of a man who would lie to you?
They're very dependent on us and the way we read a line to draw the character. So, in a way, our contribution is a little bit more than we think it's going to be.
I've never done a full character through like a film piece, a cinematic piece. And it's just a thrill to do it. It's fun.
We did it!
They have live action stuff, which I guess helps them animate it. And then the people who are doing the live action work will hear my voice to try to sort of move in the way the character and the way I sort of move. So there's a lot of mirroring and a lot of intense stuff going on.
What were you, a vulture in another life?
I'm
They have a kind of romantic comedy banter, a rhythm of talking that I like, and I've never really seen in an animated movie before.
Don't talk anymore, okay? It's only gonna upset me.
Fine, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet if you will.
All right, I'll be quiet.
Fine.
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 The Broadway songwriting team of Stephen Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens add their musical magic to Anastasia.
Working in the world of animation, you basically can do whatever your imagination tells you to. So obviously having Russian ghosts, hundreds of them, coming out of portraits and doing this wild dance while we hear this ghostly orchestra in the chorus, obviously you would not see that in a stage show. In the world of animation, something that fantastical is something that we could just run with, basically.
As the songwriters, you start the ball rolling by doing the songs around which the movie is built, and you're not really prepared. How everybody else's work kind of begins to add up and begins to flesh out. And we were the beginning. Now it has taken on this extraordinary life of its own.
The magic of animation has been evolving rapidly to include state-of-the-art technology, providing animators with new tools for their talents.
I fought it for a while. I clung to my cells.
But what can be done now with the computer and how we plan scenes and how we move the camera and how we can take and animate maybe 12 characters and turn it into 900 characters.
The computer is a pencil. It's a different kind of pencil. And it's all driven by, instead of the artist with a pencil in his hand, it's the artist who is working on the keyboard.
Here's the boat, textures as we painted it. We were called upon to create a moving ship that's being thrown in the storm. Here in rough color is an example of how it all comes together with a blue moonlit sky. Background painting, 3D effects, 3D boat, and hand-drawn water. So a very nice integration of all the different methodologies.
Before we had 600 colors, we now have the potential for 16 million colors on the computer.
Traditionally, everything had to be painted onto cell, and this way, that's very time-consuming because you'd have to paint, let the paint dry, then wait to see if you like the way the color looks. But on the computer, you can change the color in just seconds.
Animation is a medium, an art medium that lifts you up out of the chair. If it's done right, that's the key. And it'll make you fly.
It all happens in this sort of other magical place somewhere in Arizona.
The message in this picture is, joy for life and joy for finding yourself and finding love in your life.
She discovers that what she should have known all along, that she really is someone who is the best idea of herself already. She just had to recognize it.
She's the real thing, Platt. You've got to tell her.
Tell me what?
A magical mix of music, adventure, romance, and comedy. Anastasia.